the amygdalas. You can understand the amygdala is the smoke detector of the brain, fight or
Okay.
flight.
Okay.
And there's a great time and reason and purpose for the amygdala. You also talked about the frontal lobe,
Yeah.
which is actually one of the last parts of a brain to develop.
Okay.
But see, what happens is in trauma and stress and things of that nature, and then even with what we say to ourselves, we ignite the amygdala when we should be igniting our frontal lobe.
Oh, wow.
Be-
Wow.
and
Talk
and
about it.
because we have to understand this, if I'm using my amygdala, there's no need for frontal lobe use.
Mm. Mm.
Frontal lobe is about thinking and processing
Okay.
and make executive function and making good decisions and
Mm-hmm.
making decisions, which you need time to make those decisions. If I'm utilizing the amygdala, I don't. I have. It's about reacting.
Mm.
But
Mm.
let's talk about that a little bit further. If I need to react, I also need an increased heart rate. I also need to increase blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I also need to increase respiratory rate,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's where the trauma comes in
Got
of
you.
the people who experience trauma, right?
Yeah.
And that's the physiological feeling in the body. And a lot of times that's what they have to be aware of and understand. It's not so much because you may never get in that event or that that trauma particularly that happen, but your body will give you the signs.
Got
So
you.
when we talk about identifying and being aware, it's more so about being aware of what your body is telling you and how your body is responding or reacting. Because if you don't understand that, you'll miss the mark.
Mm.
If you
Mm.
don't recognize, and it's really self-awareness, because the more self-aware we are, the better we're going to be as human beings,
Uh-huh.
because you have to be self-aware. Like if somebody walks in the room or if the door closes, or it could be nearly anything. It's just about the reaction to the body,
To the
and your
body.
body is completely different than mine. So
Mm.
your triggers, quote unquote, can be completely different than mine for the same exact situation or environment that we're in.
Because our experiences, like you said,
Yes.
because how I grew up, how you grew up, how
Yes.
everybody grew up is different. So what I'm hearing you say is what I heard you say that jumped out to me. It's a it's a it's a biological reaction, right? Trauma
Mhm.
in the body, right?
Mhm.
So you said one of the signs as an adult that you might have experienced some ACEs growing up
Mhm.
is relationships are
Mhm.
kind of unstable or
Yeah,
rocky,
unhealthy relationship.
unhealthy relationships. So talk a little bit about that. So basically, if you can feel that in your body, so what I hear you saying is because if you grew up around ACEs, when you get into say you saw unhealthy relationships growing up,
Mhm.
so now you're an adult, every
Mhm.
relationship is going to mirror that relationship that you saw.
Well, not necessarily mirror, but some of those responses are experiences.
Got
Say
you.
somebody walked out, say parents were separated or divorced, and you saw that growing up as a child. Now you may develop a sense of abandonment or fear of
Mm,
abandonment.
got you.
Say you're in a relationship now and you don't speak to the person for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
That's where the physiological response comes in. That's where the anxiety can come in. That's where the thoughts, you can lose control of your thoughts and start having negative cognitions and negative thoughts about um, they're not home yet or they're not coming home. And then it can cause or lead to anxiety.